going on, everybody? This is Sean of Raw Select Music, and I'm back. I was on vacation for a week visiting some friends and family in my hometown of Chicago. And of course, while I was back, picked up some records from my house, and also picked up some records from... might be familiar with this. Reckless Records in Chicago. I went to their North Broadway shop, picked up some stuff there, and I wanted to share it with you. So, I'm not going to cut this one up, but I'm also not going to go too in-depth into some of these records, so if you want to check them out for yourself and listen to them, the links for the songs will be in my WordPress and Steemit blog. You can listen to them for yourself. I'll talk a little bit about each record, but I don't want to spend too much time on them because otherwise it's going to be another 20-minute vlog, and I really don't want that to happen. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. And the first record that I picked up was Superfly Meets Shaft, which is kind of a novelty record, cutting up some stuff, quotes and songs from the movie and soundtrack. Not a particularly great record, but it's got a little charm to it, so I might actually hold on to that one at the end of the day. And next up, this is a pretty nondescript funk and soul record, even though it's written by Gamble and Huff, and Soul Survivor Explosion. There's nothing really particularly impressive about this record, but, you know, for $1.99, can't really complain too much. And then this one was really quite interesting, because out of all the records that I picked up, this is the only one I could not find on YouTube. And while it's not particularly remarkable, it's just a nice little piece of some background music jazz. Not light jazz or easy listening or, you know, some, what's his fucking name? That guy who plays the saxophone. God damn it, Sean. Why my memory is failing me right now? This is what happens when you get older, kids. Anyways, yep. Solid piece of just some background jazz. I like it. I'm definitely going to hold on to this and can't argue with that 99-cent price. Moving on, I picked up another Oliver Sane record. I've always liked the Abbott record label. That is just so ugly and so 70s. It's just got a certain charm, and usually it screams funk to me. This is an old one that I bought years ago. This is the one that I picked up in Chicago. Bus Stop. Just some really good up-tempo funk. Can't really argue with that. Put this one away. Moving on, let's see, what else? This guy. Michael and the Messengers, Romeo and Juliet. Some good psychedelic garage music. I actually knew this one as soon as I listened to it. It's from the Nuggets compilation, which is a great starting point if you're at all interested in getting into garage psychedelic music. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite picks from this most recent dig. And then, let's see, got a couple more classic records. Dazz Band, Let It Whip, and Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces Sometimes. Both of these I really like. Both of these I am far more familiar with the cover version of these. One, for the Dazz Band, I have a reggae cover of it that I really like. And this one, I'm familiar with the East of Underground psychedelic funk version of it. So I'm pretty happy to have the originals as well in my collection. Then speaking of originals, I also found the Chacachas. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Some good Latin funk, Jungle Fever. I'd say most people are probably more familiar with the Sheba Plays Jungle Fever and other Latin soul hits. Both versions are good. This one's definitely far more familiar to a lot of people. I personally prefer the rawness of this one. Just a solid find. And then as far as prime finds in the 45 section, it had to be Danny Brown Dance Solid Gold 7 14 KT 7-inch, which comes on this beautiful translucent orange record. I don't like Danny Brown, but I love 14 KT. So when I saw this, I had to pick this up. Curiously enough, I also got the D'Angelo Solid Gold 7 14 KT remix at Reckless Records in Chicago 2 years ago. So I was very happy to find that they had another one, because these are really hard to come by. They're only pressed in 200 units. So really happy to have these limited edition records in my collection. It also helps that 14 KT is a fantastic producer, which leads me now into LPs and a 7-inch. Both are part of his Nickel and Dime beat tape. It's double LP. One LP is a beat tape, and the other LP is mostly reserved for him doing beats for other rappers. It's kind of a nice compilation. It's got Blue, MED appears on 2 tracks, Black Milk, and Slow Swerve. There we go. I can speak English. Hey. Is the last track on the rap side of this album. And it's just a surprisingly, it's just a good beat tape. Highly recommend if you're looking for some good instrumental. If you're looking for some good instrumental hip hop, definitely worth checking this guy out. It also comes with the 45 on it too, with Rock Marciano. Not really a fan of Rock Marciano, but it does have the instrumental on the other side. So, still some value there. But you can't really complain with free records. And then I wanted to get into these guys. Doc Illingsworth, For What It's Worth, on Street Corner Music, and Juicy the Emissary, Attention Kmart Choppers. Both of these are fantastic instrumental beat tapes. So far, I've only really listened to this one in depth, and I'm really liking what I'm hearing. It has sort of a, lifestyle marketing Thess1 sort of vibe to it, where it uses old Kmart radio tapes as the sample source. So it kind of gives it a unique little premise to it, and definitely makes for an interesting listen. Illingsworth doesn't really have the same theme, but he's definitely got a sort of quirk and certain character to his beats that make him sort of a unique voice in the sort of post-Dilla street corner music landscape. If you're not checking out Street Corner Music and you're looking for some beat makers to really fulfill that hole that Dilla's death left in 2006, Street Corner Music, definitely worth checking out. Definitely grab these two. I'm going to say maybe go for this one a little bit more, but we'll see when I come back and give this guy a in-depth listen. Then, can't believe I found this. This is MF Doom's Special Blends 1 and 2. MF Doom, if you don't know, puts out a Special Herbs instrumental project, and this contains a lot of those beats that he used for other artists and then blended them with other MCs and other rappers. There's a lot of highlights on here with the 8 Milli Brothers Wu-Tang cut from Ghostface's Fish Scale album, with Annie Up by M.O.P. There's some really great tracks on here, and I'm really looking forward to throwing this on at an event. This might turn some heads. So if you can find this, definitely check this out. And as far as, let's see, other records that I picked up, yeah, let's go through I'm going to go through the records that I bought and then show you some of the records that I grabbed from my collection at home. This is the last record that I bought at Reckless. Can never go wrong with Young Holt Unlimited. This one's a little bit more jazzy than some of the other stuff, and I was definitely looking for something that was a little bit more funky. But the Young Holt Unlimited always makes some really tuneful tracks. I really like what I've heard on here. I'd actually recommend Young Holt Unlimited to anybody who usually finds that, especially a lot of post-bop jazz artists, Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock's, Freddie Hubbard, stuff like that. It generally tends to be pretty serious. Young Holt Unlimited, this is some of the most playful jazz that you will hear that doesn't just go straight into straight up swing music. Highly recommend that you check this one out. Alright, we're getting down to the last couple of records. This one I picked up actually at Navy Pier of all places. And there's a record store that I passed by, debated for a little bit, do I really want to pick up any more records? But I figured I'd give it a shot, and this is what I came out with, which is Gwen McCrae, Rockin' Chair, which this is actually a record I've been looking for a while because it's got 90% of Me Is You, which is a classic sample. Anyone who's heard that track will recognize it immediately. And it's also got Rockin' Chair on here, which I have a cover version of it. It's on the Strange Beats and Mr. Thing compilation, but it's nice to have the original version of it. And yeah, it's just some really, really solid female funk and soul. Definitely check this out. I managed to find this at a decent price. I think it was only like 18 bucks. So shouldn't really cost you that much money. Anyways, now this is kind of fun for me because this is the last records that I'll share with you are records that I've had in my collection since I started DJing all the way back in 2005. And start off with this guy to me is interesting. So before Dilla really sort of became a household name as a producer, I think one of the names that was really, really coming up was Prefuse 73. And kind of running alongside Prefuse 73 was a guy named Dabri. I haven't really heard any stuff from him for a while, but he's a solid producer who makes very video gamey sounding beats. There's some good stuff on here. It's still not, I will say this about it, it hasn't really aged all that well. And in some parts, it feels a little bit dated, but there's definitely enough interesting tracks on here that I thought it was worth bringing back, and definitely worth sharing. So if you've never heard of Dabri, check this out, and then check out his additional productions, there we go, EP that he put out, which has a lot of remixes on it. And there's some really solid remixes, specifically the Dabri Beans remix, which I believe the track is on his, Selections 1/3, the Night Eats Day, there we go, brain fart. The one that's on here is not the same that's on the 2/3 collection. So yeah, if you've never listened to Dabri, also recommend you check it out. The Nomo remix on here is really good too. Then just two more to go. the last two I've got is Diverse, Big Game with Vast Air, which Diverse, when he came out with this album in 2004, I believe. Also worth noting, and sorry I'm rambling about this, this Big Game, the featured track on here, was produced by RJD2. If you've never heard of RJD2, shame on you. But this was back when he was mostly still sampling for his beats. And it shows, because this is one of my favorite productions from him. And Diverse is an excellent MC, sort of in the vein of 2000 era, what is that, Reflection Eternal, Talib Kweli. I really wondered what happened to this guy, because he was a fantastic wordsmith. And compared to what I've been hearing in the rap game these days, pretty much run laps around a lot of guys that are out there these days. Don't come at me. I'm not trying to get attacked or anything. But yeah, Diverse, fantastic. And then finish up with a, what is this? This is a Now Again record. And, yeah, Diplomatics and Amnesty. Humbug. Just some solid, deep funk. Not a particularly great 12-inch. I'm actually, now that I've brought it back, kind of, I wouldn't say regret, but I don't feel like this is one that either A, I'm going to be playing out that much, or using it in a mix or anything like that. But I am slowly trying to bring back my record collection from the States, and, you know, it's just good to feel complete again. As always, all the songs that I shared with you, when available, will be available. You can listen to them in my WordPress or Steemit blog, which you can check out in the description down below. If you've heard any of these tracks, let me know what you think of any of them. If I missed something, like of the tracks that I showed you, if there's something on the flip, let me know if I should check anything else out by those artists. And as far as the future of this channel, expect some more reviews. I'm hoping to have some interviews coming up soon, particularly one with a Japanese hip-hop producer. And that's pretty much it. Expect a few more videos this week if I can get around to them. But I'm back. At the very least, you'll get a video from me every week. And once again, I don't know how to finish these things, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.